Hello, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. Playing a little solitaire pro football today with the 1985 Bears playing the 1992 Dallas Cowboys. We're in the third quarter, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. The Bears hold a 10-3 lead, and they are in the red zone with a 1st and 10. Here's our stats after midway through the third quarter. And these numbers are the ratings for these different players for the receiving and rushing, and these are the stats to this point in the game. And it's been fairly low scoring. This drive has been a fairly good drive. I think they started this drive with 5 or 6 first downs. So the Bears are up to 11 now. So they're evening it out a little bit. Peyton's been pretty potent on this drive. And McMahon has had some good scrambles to keep the drive alive. So they've got it down to 16, 1st and 10. Let's see how it goes. Sweetness on a run. He's got a 4 against a B defense, so it's a -1. That puts his average at 3, but we have average plus 2, so that's good for 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 on the 11. This is a short pass to Willie Gault. We have the combination of quarterback and receiver ratings at 11 against an F defense. Brings it down to 2 points to a 9. So we look at 9 on the FAC. We have a penalty and a completion. The completion is average plus 5. And for Willie Gault, that is, his average is 25. So that'll be a touchdown depending on the penalty, because that's a 25-yard gain from the 11. But let's see who the penalty is on. We're going to look at the FAC number. It's a 26. That'll be against the offense, unfortunately. So let's see what the penalty is on a pass play against the offense, and it's -5. So we'll clear this off. We got a flag on the play. Puts them at 2nd and 10 on the 16. And go to a run to Peyton. 4 against the D offense. And so an adjustment 0, so we have a 4 plus 3, that'll be 7 on the gain. Brings up 3rd and 3. Interesting call here. We're using the auto play calling right now. I could go manual, but we'll go with what the auto play calling has. It's a Peyton with a 4 against a B defense. We are not inside the 5 yet, so it's a -1, so we have a 3. Plus 5 makes it 8. And look at that. They have a 1st and goal on the 1. And I'm going to go manual and call a run. Walter Payton with a 4 against a B inside the 5. Brings it down to a 3. And we have a 3 plus 3 at 6. So he's easily in with a 1-yard plunge for sweetness, for TD plunge. And you got to see it. And let's see. So that's a 1-yard gain for the touchdown. Let's check for the extra point. 42. Kevin Butler is automatic, so the extra point is good. We have a kickoff. Kickoff goes to the 3-yard line. Cowboys on the return by number 14 will be Kelvin Martin. Let's get a new FAC. Kickoff return, average plus 2 will be 21-yard return. Oops. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys, trailing now 17-3. And this team usually moves the ball pretty good, but this Bears defense is stout. Look at these numbers for against the pass and against the run that you're up against on each play. So this play is a short pass to Alvin Harper. The combination of quarterback and receiver puts us at 13. And with the Bears defense B, it brings us down to a 10. So we have a pass rush with a possible fumble. This is one of the greatest things about solitaire pro football, the pass rush with a possible fumble. So we're going to look at the FAC number for the pass rush, and it is an 11, which is not a successful pass rush. They needed something between a 25 and a 44. And those numbers come from both the offense and the defense pass rush numbers. So it's really cool. So they didn't get the pass rush. They didn't get the sack. So now we see if he scrambles. And Troy Aikman scrambles on a 1 through 19. So he does not scramble. So the play is still alive. Now we can try for a pass completion. We still have that fumble that we have to check at the end. But for the pass completion, we have a 9, a 13 against a B. So it's a 10. So we're going to look at the 10. And it is complete for a possible breakaway. We still have the fumble there, laying out there, hanging out there. So breakaway for Alvin Harper. Breakaway numbers are 1 through 43, and it is a breakaway. And his breakaway chart is number 3 with 19. Breakaway chart 3, 19 will be short gain. So we look at the next short gain. Average plus 13. So that his average is 15 plus 13. So that'll be 28, but we have a penalty. So you have to check the penalty after all that. So pass rush, you check for the pass rush. They don't get the quarterback on the sack, you check for a scramble. You don't get that, you check for the completion. And then on this one, we have a penalty. And the number is 24, and that is against the offense. So then we're going to check right here. And it looks like a holding of some sort maybe, so it's minus 10. So we'll clear that result. And it's a flag against the offense. Brings up 1st and 20 after all that. So couldn't find a good picture of Curvin Richards with the Cowboys that I could use here. So got this one from his Pittsburgh days. Anyway, he's going to run this one for 3 against the C. And there's 0 there, so it's a 3. Average plus 6 gets him a 9. That's a 9-yard gain for him. And Big Moose, Daryl Johnston's going to get this one. And it's a run of 3 against the B. And the Chicago defense is a minus 2, so he's down to a 1. Average minus 2 is a negative 1 gain for the Moose on that one. Tough go in 3rd and 12. Short pass to Daryl Johnston. Their combined ratings on the short pass is a 13, but against the A Bears defense, it brings it down to a 9, and it's blank, so it's incomplete. So it'll be a punt. Average plus 2. That'll make it a 45-yard kick. And the Bears on the return by number 32 on the punt return portion of the chart, and that'll be Kenny Taylor. It'll be a fair catch if the next one is between 1 and 12, and it is, so it's a fair catch. So Solitaire Pro Football's got a lot of good stuff on their charts. They are team charts, but every player's listed. On the defense, every player that does punt returns or interception returns, and you get the players on the back for the sacks, so you even know who did the sacks, and they're rated by their ratio for sacks. The offense is rated for their running average, the reception average, and those all come into play as you're doing each play. So it's 1st and 10 for the Bears from their own 33. And it'll be McMahon to Calvin Thomas on a short pass. Their combined ratings is a 10 against the F, brings it down to an 8. So we're going to look at 8, and it's blank, so it's incomplete. 2nd and 10, last play of the 3rd quarter. Sweetness is going to run this one. 4 against an F on the run, so he's still at 4. Average plus 1 is a 5. 3rd and 5 as we start the 4th quarter. Peyton on the run again, and it's a 4 against an E, so it's minus 3 this time. So he's down to a 1, average minus 4, so it's a negative 3. And they stopped him up on that one, so that's a punt. So we have a average on the punt. That's 42 for Mari Buford. The return for the Cowboys is number 24 on the punt return area. That'll be Kelvin Martin. Fair catch on a 1 through 15. It is not a fair catch. So his kick return is average. And I have to check with Mike on this. The average for Kelvin Martin's actually left off, but I think it's around 7. So we'll give him a 7-yard return. First and 10 for the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith on the run. He has got an average of 3 against the C. Stays 3. Average minus 3 is 0. No gain. 2nd and 10. Troy Aikman looking for Michael Irvin on a short pass. They have a 15 against the F. They got the better defense on this one. Look at those numbers for that Bears defense. So we're looking at a 14 against the F. And so it's a possible interception. So we look at the next number. It's a 50, and it is not in Aikman's interception range, so it's an incomplete pass. 3rd and 10. Going after Alvin Harper on this one. So they combine with a 13 against the C. Wow, brings it down to an 8. We have a pass rush, 27, and that falls in the pass rush for these two teams. The Bears pass rush goes up to 44. So that is a sack, and we'll check who got the sack. 47 would be Tyrone Keys. Tyrone Keys for the Bears on the sack. Second sack of the game for the Bears. Just want to note that before I forget in my stat sheet. Wilbur Marshall had the first sack, so this will be the second sack of the game for the Bears. That leaves 4th down. Yep, 2 sacks on Aikman. McMahon has not been sacked today. And they'll be punting on 4th and 19. And it is average +1, so that's 44 for Mike Saxon. And on the return, we have 9 for the Bears. That'll be Kenny Taylor. Fair catch 1 through 12. It is not. So the return, oops. I must have clicked on something. The return is average +2, so 9 yards on the return. Take us to the 44. 1st and 10. Looking for Dennis McKinnon on a short pass. Combined rating is 11 against a D. That makes it an 8, and it is complete. So pass completion average +4 for McKinnon. His average is 17. Got some big averages for these Bears. They have some really impressive numbers for the Bears 85 chart. So let's see, 1st and 10 in Dallas territory. Walter on the run against the B. That's a -1, brings him down to a 3, average +5. That's an 8-yard gain. So Peyton is starting to run up the numbers. Look at that, he's over 100 now. And he was off to a slow start in the game, but the Bears have pretty much taken control of the game at this point. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up for now. So that's my latest electronic scoreboard for Solitaire Pro Football. I've automated a couple things with my digitalized facts and how I've set the defense over here so I can easily, and I've also got my scoreboard doing the addition and subtraction for the quarterback, or for the addition for the quarterback's ratings for short pass in this case, and the receivers ratings, and combining them so I can quickly see what their rating is. And I've got the defense that's been randomly called just like the facts do, so that I can quickly do my calculations. So in this case it's a C pass defense, so I'm -5, so I'm looking at a 6, and I can quickly just go to the fact and see that's an incomplete pass. So this is my electronic scoreboard for Solitaire Pro Football, and like I said, I've automated a couple things, but I really enjoy this game. I like this game. The charts are really well done. It's very realistic and accurate so far. I've played quite a few games with this, and I just like how the numbers come out and how everything really feels like he's put the research in and gotten the numbers that you don't get to see in a lot of the other football games that you can use in this game to get some realism into the actual tabletop game. It just feels right. Okay, well, I will post this on the forum, and have a nice Thanksgiving, everybody.